You're listening to the Board Game Snobs podcast, a ridiculous podcast with ridiculous hosts that discuss ridiculous things. And any mention of board games is purely coincidental. And so, without further ado, and with a heavy dollop of shame and embarrassment on my part, I give you the Board Game Snobs.
And go.
And welcome to another episode of the Board Game Snobs podcast. What have you been doing, Gabby?
I'm currently on vacation.
Are you right now?
I'm in Navarre.
Oh, that's
Beach.
right. When this comes out, you'll be out. You'll be somewhere else.
I mean, presently, Jerry, you always give away the details. You're supposed to pretend like you're doing it live.
You're obviously not on vacation.
I
right
am.
Now, so
I took my computer with me and recording live. I'm currently looking at the beach.
You are not.
I am too. It's beautiful.
No, you're not.
It's beautiful.
You're not.
You should see it with thine eyes.
You're lying.
You like going to the beach? You don't even like going to the beach, so you don't care.
I don't like the beach. I do not like the beach. I am anti-beach.
I like looking at the ocean. I'm
not anti-beach. I just don't like it.
I like hearing the smooth, relaxing sounds of crashing waves gently lapping against the shoreline as I read my book in the hot sun. Yeah, they lap. It's a lap.
What book are you reading?
I'm currently reading it's the same book I've been reading for about 6 months now. Tchaikovsky, Children of the Sun or some such. No, that's probably an Ender's Game. But yeah, it's something like that. Alien, sci-fi, that's what I'm into.
Children of the Sun?
Children of the
Sounds
Mind,
familiar.
Children of the Sun. Adrian Tchaikovsky, I think's the name of it. I'm sure I'm butchering that
name
somehow.
sounds very, very familiar.
But it's just kind of like very, very heavy sci-fi. They're fighting against these aliens that are basically unbeatable, but yet they created some sort of, basically they like altered some people to be able to fight these aliens with their minds somehow. And that's what's happening.
Those black and white guys with the funny French hats.
Yeah.
I set you up for the sound bite.
Oh, yeah, that's how that ended up, but sure. Do you think I said mime?
No, that's why I did it.
Oh, I got you. Sorry.
Oh,
I was too focused on what I was saying and wasn't listening to you. That's true. That's very true.
yeah. All right. You dropped the ball on that one. Go ahead.
My bad.
Set you up.
So anyway, I'm currently at the beach and will be there for a week and then have to make the arduous 10-hour drive home after a week-long vacation and then facing a full work week. That's not something I'm into. We're recording currently on Discord and literally anybody could just drop in. And I kind of wish they would, but nobody has yet. Of course, we didn't invite anybody to. I could put it in general bants.
We didn't tell anybody.
Can you lock it?
No, don't do that. You can.
Lock the door, Jerry.
No,
lock the
I'm
door
not.
So nobody comes in.
Keep it open.
So you don't want me to tell nobody. So can people listen unless they join the room? So they could listen live.
No. Okay. They could listen to it if they join the room and not say anything.
Right. Huh. Interesting. Discord. I mean, it's pretty neat. It says, I wonder if Jerry accidentally joined the voice channel.
Yeah. Somebody thought I'd done it because I was in the voice channel earlier just testing things.
I see. Okay, so anyway, we had last week's something or other that Jerry produced. I don't even know what it was yet because I haven't listened to it. We got this week's recorded, and then we'll have one for next week, hopefully, coming up soon. But did you know, Jerry, In 1904, a Swedish sailor shipwrecked on an inhabited island inhabited by what sort of people, you might ask?
He shipwrecked?
He
Shipwrecked.
He shipwrecked
Gotcha.
in 1904. So
Okay.
I'm guessing you haven't heard this before, because usually you're like, oh yeah, I've heard that before.
I'm listening.
It was inhabited by cannibals. He was captured and taken to their king, whose daughter he fell in love with, and she fell in love with him. He married, had 9 children with her. So when they're cannibals, it's like when you had 9 children, you talking about for lunch or dinner, or did you like procreate 9 children? That's my humorous joke on that one, if you get it.
Cannibalism.
Cannibalism.
Ah.
Had 9 children with her, and
You really are eating this one hard.
became the king. He became the king of this cannibal land after his father-in-law died.
Man, where'd this take place? Oakland?
Oh my God. It just says an island inhabited by cannibals.
Oh, okay.
So do cannibals, do they exclusively eat human? Or do they just...
Like, you think there's like part-time vegans?
I don't know. Like, we only eat human here? I mean, is that why you have
sure
9 children? I mean, that's dark. It's really dark if you're like having kids to eat them.
I'm pretty sure that if you're cannibal, like that's pretty well a choice that you have made and you're sticking with it. It's not something you just go back and forth on, you know?
So that's what I'm asking. It's like, do they, when there's not a human around, do they eat beef or vegetables if necessary?
No, I don't think so. I'm
You
pretty
think
sure
once you go human, you don't go back?
That's what I'm saying. I'm pretty sure that's
so. Is that why these cannibals all have multiple children? Or like stockpiling the cupboards, basically?
Maybe. What makes you? Why do you assume that they're eating? Why do you assume that they're eating their children?
They're cannibals. Where else are they going? Are they going out and hunting parties and hunting humans?
I guess.
I mean,
yes.
What other humans are there to eat? If you're in a tribe, you have your tribe mates. Does somebody sacrifice themselves and say, "Here, guys, eat me"? I mean,
no. The warring tribes.
So they go to war with other tribes and then eat their slaughtered soldiers.
I assume so. Or somebody dies.
Cannibalism. I mean, this form. I mean, I know you have your Jeffrey Dahmers that are just, lunatics out of their mind eating people. But when you have a tribe, you've heard of this, I think in like New Guinea, or there's like, I think there's that. You ever seen that video that's like this lost tribe in Amazon that hasn't touched the outside world? And I don't know. And it's like, is that real, or is that just like crap people make up for the internet?
No, that's the Sentinel Island.
Cannibals that's just something I don't get, obviously, because I'm not one. But apparently once you go human, you don't go back, according to Jerry.
Well, no, I think I think that it boils down to is just how you're raised. And, you guys, if your family's into cannibalism, that gets passed down. And then there you go. Like it's a learned thing, maybe.
So anyway, that was one did you know, but I have another. This one says chiropractic. And that's the way it frames it, not chiropractory or practice. I don't know. I've never done that before. Chiropractic was founded by a traveling religious miracle healer who believed that magnets could cure diseases. He was sent to jail in Iowa in 1906 for practicing medicine without a license. The American Medical Association later labeled chiropractors an unscientific cult. Do you believe in chiropractors? I mean, I know they exist.
Okay, I was about to say, yeah, I know they exist.
Do you think the work they do does anything for you? As a medical man yourself, but also kind of into holistics.
I'm not really that into holistics. I'd say that it's, yes and no. I think there is some short-term benefit, maybe, but I think...
answer if I heard one.
Huh?
That's a cop-out answer. Yes and no.
Yeah, there is some short-term benefits to it. But I think that their claims that they make are not reasonable at all.
Well, have you ever heard of Dr. Berg on YouTube?
Yes, I have. I've told you about him. And I was like, you should look up a little more information about him.
Well, I mean, he may have some unusual ideas about things. I have went to after I had a wreck when I was 16 years old, and it wasn't my fault. I was hit from behind by a old man on medicine that shouldn't have been driving in the first place, and it messed up my neck real good. Messed it up real good. The old whiplash. And I think I don't know if my doctor. I don't know why I started going to the chiropractor because it was under the insurance or whatever. But yeah, they sent me to the chiropractor for like 6 months. And I mean, when you're there, it feels good. They pop your neck. However, I have read of people getting their necks cracked by chiropractors and it literally like injuring them for life. And I'm not down with that. Of course, then again, I know medical doctors have also prescribed the wrong medicine and hurting people or killing them for life. So, it can happen in both fields, I guess.
Now, I do like the chiropractor YouTube's videos where they're just cracking people violently. That's funny to watch.
I mean, I think a lot of it is, I don't know. When they crack your bones, it sounds and feels good. Mm-hmm. Whether or not it actually works for you, apparently, who knows? Because and that's what always blows my mind. I mean, this is 1906. It's been well over 100 years now, and they still don't really know if this works or not. Seems like science. Well, we can put a man on the moon, but we don't know if cracking bones does anything for us.
What do you mean? Say that again. Like you.
For instance, I quote unquote got whiplash. That's what I was told by the doctors. My treatment was to go to a chiropractor for however long. I don't remember. It was a long time ago. It was when I was 16. So 6 months, I believe, is how long I went, if not a year. But I mean, I still get migraines. So I don't know if that's from the wreck. I don't know if it did anything. Them cracking my neck. They put me in that traction thing where they stretch my neck out, And I couldn't tell you if it did anything or not. And I'm saying, with scientific research of studying what it does to the bones and the muscles and the nerves, once you have your back cracked, before your back is cracked and after your back is cracked, look at all this stuff. I'm not a scientist. I can't tell you how to do it, but it seems like they'd be able to figure out if, cracking your bones works or not.
Well, I mean, there is some research that says that it can help with some things, that there might be some benefit to it. But overall, some of the claims that which chiropractor stuff is based on, I think has been debunked numerous times. So, I mean, yeah, there is some, there is some, a small amount of evidence, if I'm not mistaken, or chiropractic, all the back popping that can work in some things. But overall, I think a lot of people just feel like it can be fixed through this. It's pseudoscience, what chiropractors claim. But then again, I mean, like I said, everybody has their own kind of subjective thing where the anecdotal evidence where they went and got their back popped and they felt better. So
right,
it's kind of a hard thing to go by. But I think overall, a lot of what they claim does not come. I mean, there's not a lot of science behind it.
That's like apple cider vinegar. The vast majority of people, holistic health people, my God, you would think apple cider vinegar could cure cancer. And it heals your liver, it heals your kidneys, it does all this stuff. And I was into it. I was like, all right, I started taking apple cider vinegar. Then I see two or three other PhD doctors, whatever. Of course, I know is you have people that are, okay, it's a whole thing of holistic medicine versus, what do they call that, conventional or secular. And this guy's like, there is no evidence to prove apple cider vinegar does absolutely anything to help you. I was like, well, that sucks because these other people had me convinced. Dr. Berg had me convinced, but I don't think it hurts you. Although they say not to take too much because it can damage your teeth. But anyway, just stuff like that. The whole diving deep into, if you have a pain or an illness or an ailment and you're looking for help and you're willing to look up alternative forms of medicine and or treatment, you can be into it. And then you keep looking and looking, and you can just find volumes of people that say by God, this works. And then you can find volumes of people that say this is all bunk. And it's frustrating.
Well, there is research on apple cider vinegar, and that it works to some degree. Like, you know that, right?
I mean, but then I watched this doctor the other day quoting on this research that says it's also minimal. It's not really that useful.
Okay. So I'm seeing where you're going wrong here. I got you now. I was picking up on it. You're just listening to what other people say. All you have to do is just go to the National Institute of Health, the NCBI, and just look up the research on it and read it.
Read?
Yeah, and it just reads it. And it will show, I mean, like that's 90% of any time somebody's saying, well, this does this. What research are they citing? And then read the research and look at the sample size and then what the conclusion was and what the actual metrics were. And there you go. And you just read the study.
And that's where
what they did. That's the National Institute of Health. Like literally, if you Google what your question is, it will be in the first page somewhere. If it's an actual scientific question, like apple cider vinegar research, it will be like one of the top ones almost. And I mean, like that's where all these various places where people publish papers on any type of research. Then you can just read the research on it.
See, I've got GoodRx, Healthline, NetMeds, National Institute of Health. Apple cider vinegar modulates serum lipid profile.
There you go.
That's a lot of words.
Yeah. And so pretty much if you go and if you have a medical question and you're wondering, does this thing work? Chances are you can just look up the actual research and read through that research yourself.
In conclusion, ACV induced a protective effect against erythrocyte, kidney, and liver oxidative injury and lowered the serum lipid levels in mice fed high cholesterol, suggesting that it possesses oxidative stress scavenging effects. Oh, now I get it.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not a doctor, so I don't know anything I just read.
It lowered the fat content in mice.
It increases the levels of antioxidant enzymes and vitamin. Well, you know what? I'm back in. I'm back in, baby, on ACV.
But can I also
and I'm eating the mother, too.
I know, but can I also point out that you did exactly what misinformed people who make those videos do?
What?
You did exactly that. You didn't read the study. You read the conclusion.
Yes.
Right.
Because it's got a bunch of words I do not understand.
No. But here's the thing. The sample size and how they did the study.
Oh, yeah. I see what you're saying.
Okay. Is up there. And so what happens is I could post the study on chiropractic and say, this is what I found, and I believe it works. And my conclusion is this. And then when you go back and did the study, and the study module, what I did to test this was I asked Gabi, and he got a car wreck and he had his back popped once and it felt better. So it's like, what method are they using? How long is the study? How many, what did they do?
Good Lord. So where in the world do you go for all that?
It's in the same research. It's literally like 4 paragraphs above the conclusion.
All I see is abstract.
Which is an abstract. There should be a method of what they did and how big of a sample size
affiliation
and what the results were. And there you go. So
there you go. Now I somewhat know what to do. I guess I'll just stop listening to Dr. Berg.
Well, I'm just saying is that's where people get.
And he calls himself Dr. Berg.
Told something.
And I think he's just a chiropractor.
Well, they are technically doctors, I believe. They have a doctorate in chiropractic.
Oh, well, then I'm back in on Dr. Berg.
But they don't go to MD-DO school. They go to chiropractor school.
I'm out. I'm back out now.
No. So it's not the same thing.
All right.
But anyways.
Well, we have a question from Dave Allen that we just brushed slightly. And
is Dave Allen the guy that paints a lot?
No.
No, he's not. Oh, no. That's the other guy. Dadgummit, I thought you were making a joke there. Go ahead.
That's Jim Crimmins and Jared Rutledge.
Oh, I got him wrong.
So you brought this up, and whatever it was you produced content-wise a week ago, and Dave Allen says his topic for discussion was board game adjacency. What is it? Is it important? Where can I get some? How much does it cost? I'm just sort of fumbling around with the thought, but at the heart of it, at the central paradox of board gaming, it is so much easier to be involved in some way with board gaming than it is to actually play board games.
See, I didn't want to be doing anything board game adjacent today. I wanted to be actually playing board games. But instead, you're like, let's podcast. This is board game adjacent.
This is board game adjacent. And
right,
due to, me being at the beach and such, we can't play a board game together, unfortunately. But we could BGA something, but I don't even know what's on BGA presently. I know BGA is full of good games. I understand that. I just haven't managed to be able to get on there and hop on there and play one. But
all you play is Can't Stop. You won't play actually real game.
I most certainly do. Marco Polo, Yokohama, Gold West, Alhambra, Arnak. I play all those. But have I played anything
I've checked
real
on there.
new?
You haven't played them in like a year.
Well, that's true too. Look at you spying on me what I do on BGA. Is there a way to make my profile private? Make a private profile?
No, I'm calling you out.
I'll tell you what burned me is I joined a Beyond the Sun tournament. Do not ever do that because that took forever and never ended. Oh, it was bad. Sorry, Bruno. And I don't think Bruno realized how long it was going to take either. But I'm out. If it's not real time, I'm out.
I've
said that before.
Wonderful World tournaments. I like my Wonderful World turn-based tournaments. That's like the only one I really like, turn-based.
But they have games on there that we have played that I enjoy, like Art Deco. We played that once at BGG. I liked it. I would like to play it again. It's on here. I mean, the list goes on and on. I figure BGA is going to eventually have everything in the top 100 on here at some point. They got Scythe on here, I believe, or maybe not. Anyway, so board game adjacency. So I was thinking about that. And so what you end up having is there are people that love to be board game adjacent. They love to be involved in, they watch the news, you hearing the news, whether you're listening to podcasts, watching YouTubes, joining Twitches. If somebody knew that we were recording right now on Discord, they might hop in and join. That's all board game adjacent. And I think that is a major part of what makes board gaming a community. So if you're not interested in that social aspect of it, and you don't even really have to be social about it if you're just taking in information and news and reviews. But that's kind of what got me into it, was all of that stuff. That's what got me into playing and purchasing and buying and all this stuff, going to cons, was the adjacent part of it more than it was actually playing board games. So I think it all works very nice as an ecosystem of board gaming and board gaming, the hobby.
This is true. And I think that I don't like board game adjacent stuff. Though.
Yes, you do.
I don't.
You're all about it. You have to. Nobody's making you podcast. We can quit it anytime you want. We can shut this thing down.
Oh, I know, but you make me do it.
Okay, let's shut it down. When do you want to shut this podcast down? I've actually wondered about this question.
What's that?
At what point will we shut this podcast down?
When I die. I thought it was going to come soon. Unfortunately, it didn't work out.
Do I need to arrange a hit on Jerry to end the podcast?
Basically, it was one of those things where I thought I was going to be able to sign off.
Okay, well, unfortunately for you, I guess. Fortunately for me, you're still here with us. But, at what point do you, and I've had this discussion with other people before, it's like, at what point do you call it quits on something? Is it when you no longer enjoy it? Is it when you no longer, and for me, it's the answer, some people say when you don't see, some people are looking for growth and they want to make something out of it. We're grown as we're going to get, it's done, probably receding at this point, but as long as we still enjoy producing it, I guess we'll keep making it, or as long as circumstances allow.
Right. But yeah, I don't see a need to shut it down. I'm fine.
Love that enthusiasm.
No. I'm still alive. I'm still kicking it. Right. I'm busy buying our 2025 BGA Spring tickets right now. I forgot that we didn't get them. So I had to stop real fast and buy them before I forget.
I wasn't planning on going.
Well, I'm going.
Okay.
Enrique's going.
You said hour.
You're going to go. You always end up going. You always want, why can't I just buy a 1-day ticket?
Because I don't have enough. I've discussed this with you. I don't have enough vacation time. And I can't spend all of my vacation time going on board game conventions with Enrique and Jerry. My wife might get a little upset at me.
You have plenty of vacation.
I do not.
Yes,
do
you
not.
do.
I'm a
You're
low
lying
man
to
on the
yourself.
totem pole.
You're lying to yourself. All right, got my tickets. This got to wait on the motel room. Well, if you don't go, we may just have to stay a night. We'll just have to tell Chad. We'll just stay with you. Stay with Chad.
Bunk in with
Since
Chad.
you're not going to be there.
Chad may not want you in there.
Yeah.
He may like his room by himself, which I know I would certainly love, but no, it's expensive.
Nah, Chad's
gets
a party
paid
animal.
he gets paid good money to kill them monkeys.
Yeah. Take some of that monkey killing money. Maybe you should kill some monkeys. Get some time off.
If it was an option, I would do it. I need a side hustle. I see lots of these things on the internet. Like, get you a side hustle. But I don't even know what that in the place where I live, you can't side hustle. A friend of mine used to do DoorDash, and he said even the DoorDash here is just such a ripoff. He says you might make like, a few dollars for several hours. I'm like, that's unfortunate. I need to move to a big city and get my side hustle.
I heard that the DoorDash and stuff in Paris, Texas was really good.
No, it does not. It does not.
I literally talked to a guy last year, I believe. He was doing DoorDash at Jack in the Box and said he made $1,400.
There's a lot can happen in a year. Our friend Frankie, Frankie, not Frankie of the North, but our friend Frankie, he DoorDashes, and he basically stopped because it wasn't worth it for him to make the trip up here to DoorDash. He says just over time, it's just gotten worse and worse. Because over a year, literally. So ask your friend again now and see what he says. See if it's still correct.
Wow, that's weird.
Big business. You know how they do? They're going to screw the drivers over and make the money for themselves best they can. That's how big businesses are. Down with the man, I say.
Speaking of the man, I'll tell you who the man is. Chad Elkins. Chad sent me a box full of family games, and he sent me a game called Hamster Roll. Have you heard of it?
No.
Nope. Of course not, because it was made back in 2000 and apparently got reprinted. It's like a French game or something of that nature.
Oh.
And it's a big wheel.
They keep on turning, I hear.
They do. It literally is a big wheel that turns as you're throwing blocks on it. It's kind of like a wheel, but imagine Jenga, but you're stacking stuff instead of taking it out. Super weird looking.
Okay.
And my kids loved it. We played it the other day. There's just no hamster in it. But yeah, it just came out, 21st Century Games. I guess did a Kickstarter on it, brought her back, and it's cool. And they imported it, and I liked it.
Hamster wheel. Jerry says it's good. Go and get it if you have kids.
Or if you want kids.
No.
Yeah, if you want kids, get kids. Yes, this will probably help you get kids.
You think so? It's like an aphrodisiac?
Yep.
Has that effect on you?
I played it, and it was titillating.
What? There you go.
It's actually the definition of titillating.
Let's
look that up real fast. Titillating. Nope. Salacious.
Salacious. Oh, that's salacious.
Ah.
This podcast is not.
No, because you're on vacation and you're phoning it in. Plus, I'm really getting more into this.
I am phoning it in, actually.
Yeah, whatever. You're discording it in. You're on vacation. I'm really getting more into this audio video stuff. I like doing it. Wants to start a YouTube channel is what we need.
We have one. We've produced one or two and then done nothing with it because, okay, no, you know what? I'm not having this discussion with you for the umpteenth time in which you say, we need to do this and that, but neither you nor me have the time to do any of it.
If only we had time to do some more board game adjacent stuff.
I mean, we can
playing board games.
We can make YouTube videos about games we've heard about.
That would be the most successful thing ever. If we didn't play board games, if we stopped playing board games and just did a board game channel where we talked about board games, but we never actually played them.
I mean, you could do that.
Just heard about.
Hey, I heard on Dice Tower the other day, there's a game called Hamster Wheel. Have you heard of it?
Just critique stuff.
I hear.
Or we could do one of those reaction channels where we just watch the Dice Tower reviews. It'd be a picture of us in the corner just reacting to it.
Delizio
we react to the Dice Tower.
This has a good solo mode. Hamster Wheel has a good solo mode. Did you hear that?
I'm going to start doing that. Just doing reaction videos.
To an unboxing. Tom
Nothing.
unboxes something. You're like, whoa.
I'm going to stop. No, I'm going to do boxings where you're putting stuff back in the box haphazardly.
Or just the video in reverse.
Yeah. I did do reaction videos to all of Mike DeLiccio's videos. Just sit there and watch them and react to them. There's people literally with millions of subscribers on YouTube that's all that they do is just watch somebody else's video and go, wow.
I know. It's awful. I don't know how that's a thing. I don't think it's as popular as it used to be. All these things kind of go in phases. I'm sure there's still some big reaction video people out there, but it's just like, my God, how is this a thing? It's really sad.
It is. We missed the boat. We would have been great reaction guys. Do something and let me react to it.
Okay. Well, you mean physically or just
say something and I'll react to it.
All right. I'm going to give you something to say to it. Here we go.
I am the last one.
Wow. See, that's literally like 300 views right there. If that was a YouTube short. All we're lacking is the video. All right. So I pre-ordered ARCs. It should be here soon this month.
I look forward to I look forward to hearing about it.
Okay. We're going to do a reboxing of ARCs. Where we rebox it.
I can't wait till a Secret Cabal comes out with their review so we can discuss it.
Yeah, and we got Let's Go to Japan. Got that too.
I've heard Chad really likes that one.
And the what's the crew that reverse poker game? Guess that
the gang.
So yeah,
gang.
All right. So that's good enough for me. This has been a great episode. I truly hope you're enjoying your vacation.
I'm fixing to go out there. I've got my Speedos on and I'm ready to get in the surf.
All right. You said Speedos as if you have multiple Speedos.
I've got multiples
that you're having to wear.
I've got one on top and one on bottom.
To cover?
Yeah.
A two-piece.
It's a two-piece Speedo. A man of my size, my chest kind of, it can be boob-like, so I kind of refrain those a little bit.
I'm going to buy you. Remember that giant guy that played on WWE? What was his name? The guy that was the giant that had the Speedo, that
Andre?
One arm was out of it. Andre, the giant. Yes, he had that one-armed Speedo, just that one strap. That's what you need. You need to have that when you go to the beach.
Maybe I will.
There's a one-shoulder strap Speedo.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for this episode. Until hopefully next week we have something. We may or may not. Depends on if I get back from vacation on time. So
don't count on it. I'll release something without you.
There you go. Get Evan back on the show.
Stealth. Yeah, I'll do my own episode. I got this.
Do it.
This is Jerry.
This is Gabby. Bye-bye.
Thank you for tolerating this episode of the Board Game Snobs. Stay classy.